friends. If your friends ask you to meet, you should say no. No.
Alright viewers, Lei Ho, Ni Hao, Xin Chao, Konnichiwa, Hola, Bonjour, and in no particular order, Cup and Cup. Welcome to Cheeky and Couches, and today you're joining me on day 6 of my 14-day quarantine. And yes, I am back in Hong Kong right now, and this is my place for quarantine. I'm not quite home yet. Still, still got 8 days to go. I'm healthy, and just a disclaimer: this is not the time for us to be all racist. And it's not just now, but any time. Racism is not acceptable. Like stereotypes, it's funny sometimes, but once you cross the line, it's racism. There's no discussion for that whatsoever. So we're dealing with this together. No one is having it better or worse. We're on the same boat, and hopefully it's not Titanic. For the footage you're about to see, I was surviving on like a couple of hours sleep when I was filming it. So if there's something that don't really make sense, I apologise. Here is the whole thing of me travelling back from the UK to Hong Kong at its full authenticity. So I'm less than 3 hours before leaving the UK. It's now 9:06. So when it comes to personal safety gear, I've got a pair of gloves, a raincoat, a goggle, some mask, surgical mask, and hopefully that will protect me from any kind of germs. And also I've got wet wipes and and all that. So yeah, I should be relatively fine. Apart from one thing, I'm surviving on 4 hours sleep, so I don't know if that's gonna play out well. But here's my
Stop it. Get some help.
And as you could tell, I was completely out of it at this point. So here's the thing: during COVID-19 lockdown, the aviation industry has been hit hard, like every other industry. So here's some figures. In Asia Pacific alone, as of March 2020, the passenger revenue will be 37% less compared to 2019. That roughly translates to $88 billion. And globally, the figure of passenger demand is dropped by 55%. And by the end of the year, it is estimated a reduction in 314 billion in revenue. I arrived at the very empty Heathrow airport 3 hours before departure. And to any paranoid parents out there, there's no point to arrive early when the plane's not even there. You might as well spend more time in bed. You can still crawl to the gate in time. And of course, the Heathrow management team gave me beef when I was filming in a public area. A good thing is, Cathay Pacific came in to save the day. They gave me permission to film inside with their company, so big up Cathay. And after clearing customs, that's all there is. That's all the flight on the board for the day. It's madness, all surreal. Like, it's so quiet in the world's 7th most busiest airport on earth. It's weird. I mean, look at it. That's the most popular hangout spot right up there. That's W.H. Smith, and that's it. There's nothing. And it's so quiet, and it's like talking. I almost feel like I'm violating the rule. Like, I'm talking in a quiet library or something. It's so weird. It's actually really nice to see people wearing masks everywhere they go. Because, people are now more aware of what's going on. That's perfect. And also, I can see people wearing masks, goggles, or even double masks. Like, mate, honestly, come on. Would you wear, 2 condoms, one on top of each other? I don't think so. So maybe it's not the best way that's gonna work, but I don't know. I'm no doctor, so I can't really say much about that. Everyone's respecting social distancing, that's really nice. And yeah, it's all well and good. And I am currently 20 minutes away from my gate, I think, because I think I have to take the connecting train, I believe. Now I have to walk there. Yes, so basically there's only travelator. As a person growing up in the city, with that doubles my already quick walking pace, which is nice. Basically, here's the plan. People wearing gloves, people wearing like those, what do I say, full gear shade. So I'm sort of like wondering, should I put my goggles on? Maybe. I'm going to see people at my gate and what they're doing. And also, thank you for the NHS for all your support and all your hard work and effort. Like, you won't be forgotten, and you're always unsung heroes, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And for every single doctors and nurses and essential workers across the globe, thank you. As I was walking towards the gate, I kept thinking about the air circulation on board. It's very primitive, very limited. On board the CX252, which is an A350, it has what the industry called the bleed air system. It means that they take the air on the inside, let it circulate through the engine, let it sanitize a bit, and it goes back in rather than drawing in fresh air on the outside. And it is quite worrying to know that there are crew members and travellers in the past complained about the system, giving their headaches and stuff. Once on board, I rubbed living hell out of everything I touch with hand sanitizer. And for the sunglasses, that's mainly for aesthetic, but it's also to protect myself if someone decides to not cover their mouth and spread the love and take a giant sneeze next to me. Additionally, let's go back to a few days before the flight, and here's my thinking, because I have requests for a special mew, a Hindu mew to be precise, because that way I'm going to avoid peak time when people are taking their mask off for their mew. It means that I'm going to be less likely to get the virus. And of course, the meal was amazing because it's packed full of flavour. The onboard experience is pretty box standard. You've got a seat recliner in front of you, declaring the territory, colonising the space in the back because it's free. You head out to the toilet, look out the window, contemplate about the life, walk down the aisle like you should be. You wake up from a nap, have an extra meal, look out the window, think about people that you haven't insulted yet, and before you knew it, you're over Hong Kong. Maybe 10,000 feet about? Or as you're approaching, it'll be 3,000. Or maybe less than that. I don't know. And yes, we have landed. It's actually pretty weird to see the entire Cathay fleet parking in line, one after another, because it's pretty expensive to ground your plane unless they own their parking space or something. Right, so I've survived 11 hours on flight CX252, but the trouble isn't over yet. I've still got, I have to go to the Asia Expo Centre, whatever they want to call it, for another brief body check in order to make sure I've got no symptoms, and I'll be sent straight back home and begin this 14-day of self-quarantine. And after that, I should be free to go. After everyone's taken the luggage, we were taken to the expo centre for the saliva test. It would take on average 7 hours for the results to turn up. It could take up to 13 hours as well, and it didn't take long for the boredom to kick in.
Many hours later.
So I'm back to where I'm supposed to stay during quarantine for 14 days. And so what I have to do now is I have to carry my phone and walk around this flat for 1 minute. According to this guideline here, which is apparently says 1 minute. I just have to walk around the house, including living room, dining room, bedrooms, basically cover the whole circle of it to make sure that, you know, GPS tracking is gonna track around my my house rather than accusing me for leaving for no reason. I've noticed that people without a smartphone or an updated smartphone that could run that app on, they'll be given like a separate smartphone and a separate wristband, which will be in black and is a lot bulkier. So that is for like elderlies, people who are like literally they can't control like smart devices. But yeah, I mean that's a really cool little touch. I really want to have a go at the open government, you know, for what they do, but I just can't because it is quite comprehensive. Like, yeah, they got like literally everything stated like in a flow chart, and also what you have to do for in terms of the setting up of the app. So you really can't go wrong with anything. And also apparently the health department people are going to call you up, like not regularly but at some point during your 14-day period to check up on you, make sure that everything's all right, and make sure, you know, you haven't escaped your house and, you know, cut off your wristband without their consent. That's good effort, very good effort. That's it for the video. If you like what you've seen, please press like and subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified so that you're not going to miss out all the good stuff. I make videos about cars, travel, people and new experience. Hit me up if you got any ideas. I am down. Anyways, you're the best. Peace out.